David Breed, tell us a little bit about yourself.
In my statement, I said that if I am elected to the committee, I would pursue a single goal, which is to make patents great again. The patent situation in the United States, in my opinion, is in shambles. For example, we no longer file patents with the idea of suing anybody or preventing anybody from infringing on our patents. We only file to establish a freedom to operate and then depend on our business plans to hopefully avoid getting sued. But we don't sue anybody. I have no intention of ever suing anybody again, at least as long as the IPR system exists, which is, to my mind, a total disaster. And for example, we had one IPR process that we got involved in. It involved 10 of our patents. It had to do with occupant sensing in automobiles to prevent airbags from going off when there's a rear-facing child seat present and so on, or someone is out of position. It involved 10 patents. All 10 of those were declared invalid by the IPR process. And to my mind, that is absolutely outrageous. We had a deal with a company called Acacia Research, which a lot of the big companies likes to call a troll. But anyway, our deal with them is that they took over 200 of our patents, and they would enforce them. And when they did that, they gave us a valuation of the portfolio being worth between $50 and $500 million. Then the American Invents Act was passed, and over the next few years, the value went to zero. We think this is tremendous injustice. Once the patent office submits or allows a patent, they should honor it, and it should not be declared invalid, or except in very, very rare cases. And of course, it's declared invalid in a very high percentage of the cases now. Now, I read the bios of the members of the committee, and as Randy said, they're mostly from big companies. They're mostly lawyers, not inventors and engineers. And so you really can't expect them to look out for our benefits. Big companies don't like patents because they're constantly infringing them. I bet Apple infringes thousands of patents every year, and they spend much of their time in court. And so they want a very weak patent system so they can knock these patents off at the PTAB. So the committee is supposed to support people, support inventors, and the members should be supportive of a strong patent system. The members now, or the committee now, in my opinion, does not promote the cause of inventor rights as it was its purpose of the PCA, and those people who don't take that position should resign. Members should be inventors from small companies or companies that have a vested interest in strong patents. I am glad that I was not on the committee for the last meeting. I read the transcript. The meeting, in my opinion, was very poorly organized. Presenters didn't have enough time for their presentation. The presentation should have been passed out in advance, not presented at the meeting. The meeting should have been for questions and debate only. There was essentially none of that. The management of the committee, I thought, was very weak and really didn't contribute anything to the process. From the proceedings, the impression I got is that this committee is more like rearranging the decks on the Titanic.
The question is, what role do patents play? What role should they play?
Well, what role should they play? I think what everybody has been talking about today, I think we're in 100% agreement. If someone invents something, they should be able to get a monopoly on it, and it shouldn't be, once the patent office grants a patent, they should not take it away. That's a failure of the patent system or of the patent office, the USPTO. They say they failed when they granted the patent. Well, that, you know, if you've ever been in modern manufacturing, for example, you have zero defects, right? That's the design, you know, 100% good parts 100% of the time. It's that philosophy that we need in the patent office. When the patent office examines and grants a patent, they should stand behind that patent. They should come to the defense of anyone whose patent is being challenged. In fact, they should pick up all the costs, in my opinion, of defending yourself. So the thing is a disaster right now. I mean, it's such a disaster that we file all of our patents in China, by the way, that was mentioned recently. I don't know exactly where the Chinese patent system stands, but it's certainly no worse than the United States. And China has realized that if you have a strong patent system, you attract inventors. And that's what they're trying to do. And the United States is losing inventors because the patent system stinks. So, and by the way, the committee, I don't think is at least reading their proceedings and looking who's on the committee. I don't think they're going to do anything. I think the committee is kind of a sham. And so really what needs to be done is to reorganize the committee and get people on it who support patents and have a lot of vigorous debate on the committee, not just listening to presentations. I mean, that's just stupid, right?
David Breed, how are you going to manage this and prosecuting hundreds of patents in China?
From my earlier comments, you know, I'm very pessimistic about whether this committee can do anything. So on that basis, you might want to find someone other than me to serve on the committee, because I'm skeptical as to whether the committee has done anything or could do anything, especially with the makeup of the committee. If you got several entrepreneurs, patent holders on the committee, then that might change. But again, it boils down to a political process, and you're going to have to make any significant change. You're going to have to change what Congress legislates, and that's not a trivial matter. Now, Trump did appoint a judge who was pro-patent finally, so maybe things will improve gradually in the Supreme Court. Who knows? The Supreme Court has been very negative also. Patent holders have problems everywhere. But you don't like to till the windmills. You know, you like to fight the battles that have a chance of winning. Let me just make a couple other points. There's two products that we're developing right now where we have a different way of protecting our intellectual property than using patents. So we're filing patents, but one of them is you probably know that autonomous vehicles are coming on the road. And when people can sit in arbitrary locations in a car, the traditional airbag systems don't work very well. So you really need an airbag that fills the whole car, or essentially the whole car. To do that, you have to use the air that's in the passenger compartment to inflate the airbag. Otherwise, you'll break everybody's eardrums, the windows will all blow open, the doors will blow open, and so on. So to solve that problem, you need a gas generator with an aspirator that uses most of the gas to inflate the airbag by sucking it in from the passenger compartment. Now, we've been working on this for 20 years, and every other major company in the airbag field has also worked on this. No one has succeeded except us fairly recently. We now can demonstrate a airbag system where 75% of the gas to inflate the airbag comes from the passenger compartment. The intellectual property, however, is in the computer modeling, and that's not going to be very easy for anyone to copy. And so we've given presentations. In fact, we're working with Autoliv on this to some extent. We've given presentations at TRWO, which is now ZF in Germany, and the other airbag system companies. And they're going to try to copy us. They're going to put their guys out, but they won't succeed, at least not in a reasonable period of time. And the reason I know that is that the scientists that we're using are aerospace scientists in Ukraine that did a lot of work for Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, for example, in flow control over wings. And they've developed a system called the Prandtl-Meyer effect that will allow the proper mixing of the gas. I'm getting too complicated, but
You can't help yourself.
to solve the problem, they're using a supercomputer in Moscow
Okay.
from Ukraine. So
Lots
I'm
of
not worried about anyone copying it because they won't be able to solve the problem in a reasonable period of time.
30-second final statement.
I guess in terms of background, I have 5 college degrees, 3 from MIT, a degree in physics from Carleton, a PhD from Columbia. I've been fortunate to get many awards, including one from Ralph Nader as one of the inventors of the airbag. Most of my original work was done for the military. I developed a timer during the Vietnam War that would give a 6-month time delay, which is what McNamara wanted for destroying anti-personnel mines, and that had the highest priority of any project in the military at that time.